Hey, this is Abacus with the Spuff of Legend, and today I want to talk about an update that just happened to the Overwatch public test realm. Should be going live soon. It was mostly regarding Bastion. Bastion is being changed in a number of different ways. The general trend seems to be taking some of his abilities from his Sentry mode and giving it to his Recon mode, so he really feels like he has two different modes. Because I know there are a few people who play Bastion like a tank or a sentry that can occasionally turn into Soldier 76, and they're trying to make that a lot stronger than it was previously. His submachine gun recon mode was buffed in a number of different ways to the point where when you use him, he pretty much exactly feels like Soldier 76 with a couple of minor differences, because his spread is a little bit worse and he deals a little bit more damage at long range if you're firing in full auto, which admittedly neither should, and if you're firing in burst ammo, Soldier 76 will still slightly outpace him without even factoring in the Helix rockets or his area of effect heals that are slightly easier to use than Bastion's, though Bastion's healing is being changed as well, so that instead of having a cooldown, it kind of like Diva's defense matrix, it just kind of runs out if you use it too much, and then it recharges over time. So they seem to be trying to make Bastion in a little bit more of a Sentry DPS hybrid, and I think this says something about how Blizzard is choosing to balance the game. Specifically the fact that they chose Soldier 76 to balance him against. Now, Soldier 76 is probably the easiest class in the game to understand. He's just a dude with an assault rifle that shoots steady burst damage, and I think they're trying to make Soldier 76 the benchmark to compare all other DPS classes in the game too. And I think the reason they're doing that is because for a while now, the DPS classes in Overwatch have been suffering from a lack of role due to the fact that the tanks and the supports are given a lot of DPS abilities. And I'm not just talking about characters like Roadhog and Zenyatta, who are very clearly supposed to be DPS hybrids. I mean, in general, all the support and tank classes in Overwatch can really hold their own in a fight. And that's because Blizzard is making a shooter and understands that shooter players would like to have some teeth to them, even if they're playing a healer or a tank. And that's cool, and I actually 100% support that. I think it's great, but it does mean that a class who's dedicated to DPS can kind of suffer in the meta when they're trying to compete with other classes that can not only serve DPS, they can also do other jobs like supporting and tanking. So I think that they are trying to build the DPS class around Soldier 76, who is at the moment the only, he's not the only viable DPS, but he is the most viable DPS. He's the most useful in a number of situations, mostly because he can deal respectable damage at any range. He has a backup heals, and his Helix rockets and rifle give him the ability to deal whatever type of damage, whether it's consistent, whether it's burst, whether it's range, whether it's close. He can do pretty much anything at any given moment. And so I think this Bastion change foreshadows, and we're going to see more changes to the DPS category in ways that seem to suggest that Blizzard is asking the question, how does this character fare compared to Soldier 76? The idea for this video came from a thread on the R competitive Overwatch subreddit. I linked to it in the description because there's some really good discussions going on in the comment section for that thread. I hope you're all having a good almost Valentine's Day, and I will see you next week. This is Abacus from the Spuff of Legend, signing out.